Hi there, this is my video for the rapid prototyping assignment. For this assignment we were asked to present 3 prototypes that we've made over the module, and the 3 prototypes that I decided to present were week 3, Chindoku, week 4, teamwork, and week 6, 10 seconds or less. So to start us off, I'm going to show week 3, Chindoku. Now the Chindoku I've gone with was based on the magic 8 ball, only this 8 ball is honest, it's not magical. So the design idea was that it would be a mobile app that you ask your question, shake your phone, and it will give you the answer. But in practice, because I don't have a phone or anything that I could put the app onto, I ended up making it so that you just start and then there's a button to press to simulate shaking your phone. So you ask your question, shake your phone, and it gives you an answer. Now you can then press on the 8 ball to clear your screen to ask again, or you can just ask and then shake and it would continue to go through the answers that it's programmed with. I believe it had 13 different answers that it could call from. My second prototype is teamwork, and this was done with Sebastian Malloy. He put most of his time and effort into the co-op side of the project, making it so that the game could actually run in co-op with 2 players on screen moving simultaneously and independently of each other. The rest, like the sprites that we're using, not including the characters, were done by myself, and the majority of the code used in the levels was done by myself as well. In fact, I think all of the code for all of the functions of the level were done by me. I will jump in and quickly show how the game functions, and I'll just start off by saying that these bottom corners of both halves are emergent tutorial zones. So what that means is, for instance, this half of the level you can't get by without working as a team. It forces you to work as a team. The little guy can't get out, and the bigger guy can't get out beyond here without each other's help. So the little guy will jump off the bigger guy's head, and then the big guy has to jump off the little guy's head, instilling a sense of requiring cooperation. And then, because at this point the little guy has nowhere to go, this area is blocked, you press the button, and now the little guy can get through. So this paves the way for the rest of this half of the level, where you'd need to press the buttons and light them up as the basic puzzle that you need to solve for this half of the level. I'm not going to go through the whole level, I'm just going to show these 2 corners. So when you get to this corner, the rest of the level requires that you work and perform this move. So this move is one player jumps and the other jumps when you reach the peak of their jump. That is re-executed here to press this button, and here to get up to press this button. Either team can do it up here, but here it requires that the little guy jump off the big guy's head, and here the big guy's got to jump off the little guy's head. And if you don't perform that in this section, you can't progress through. So hopefully it's obvious enough after you having to jump on each other's head here that would be intuitive enough that the player would pick up on it and do it. Through playtesting, I've never had any complaints about this, and people have said that it's surprisingly easy to get through. I hope that's because the tutorial sections are set up properly. So the game is based on Thomas Was Alone, but we wanted to do a cooperative version of that. Thomas Was Alone is a 2D platformer where you play and rotate through blocks of various shapes and sizes, and you change to which block you need to fulfill the function of that specific area. Often you'd need to jump on top of each other or use a large fat block to float on rivers, so we'd end up doing something along the lines of that if we continue this further. But we wanted to make Thomas Was Alone but in co-op. And The difficulties faced were issues like this segment here used to be an L shape, but it was discovered through playtesting that if the orange guy gets up here, lets the little guy through, and then falls down, the little guy couldn't get back to help him out. And the same happened here. The orange guy couldn't get up from here because this was an L shape as well. So he couldn't make it up here if the little guy was stuck down here. And it just meant that you couldn't complete the level at all. So I had to adjust the level for that. The other major difficulty that me and Seb both had difficulty with was actually setting up the cooperative function. Both of us tried this. I tried for 3 days and couldn't get it to work, and Seb slaved away for a day and a half trying to get it to work, and eventually got it into a place where we were both comfortable with. I think that's everything for this one. And number 3 is week 6, 10 seconds or less. The 10 seconds or less game, I used the Metroid controller, which is a free asset from the Unity store. I will link the reference in the description of the YouTube video. I did that to save myself a lot of time because I knew straight away from the beginning that I wanted to make a Metroidvania control for my game. My game's design was intended to be a hardcore speedrunning platformer. It was supposed to be incredibly difficult, something where you'd need to repeat the same level over and over and over again, just to make a little bit of progress and figure out where you had to go next before completing it. To adhere to the theme, I made it so that each level would be 10 seconds long and found that that was far too restrictive. So changed it at a later point to be a 10-second countdown, but you can perform actions or collect things within the levels that would give you extra time, but that time would never take you above 10 seconds. So the inspiration behind this was largely games like Super Meat Boy, VVVVVVV, and Celeste, and other games similar to that. After a few playtest sessions, I found that there were a couple of bugs, one of which you may see, which is where the character will get stuck in the ground, or the enemies will also clip through walls. I've not been able to find a way of solving that yet, but I do intend to keep working on this one, so fingers crossed I'll get that one solved soon. And there was a couple of feedback from playtests, and a couple of people said the same thing, which was that certain jumps on certain levels were very, very difficult to perform because they didn't know about a dash mechanic, or that it wasn't clear that there was a double jump. So I added in some tutorials. I think I pressed play on the wrong level. I did. So the tutorial levels from the main menu, that doesn't scale properly on my screen, but it does if I'm using a different one. This just says press space to jump, and then wall hopping, and the whole reason I did this was specifically for the dash mechanic, but here, this teleporter, you can't get over this no matter how hard you try, so you have to use the teleporter. And this is just to teach the player the basic mechanics of the game. Here, I'll probably be able to show you. Nope, okay. It didn't clip through the wall. I was going to try and show the bug there. But here is the dash tutorial. You see it says dash, press shift. Below is the spikes. So you need to dash to get across this jump. And I'm not going to play the rest of the game, but those tutorial levels came in simply because of playtesting and the feedback that I got from those. Outside of that, I didn't really experience many difficulties creating this. It was quite a comfortable game to make for me. I don't think I need to cover anything else. So thanks for watching. See you in the next one.